For more from London, Dr. Marcos Papadopoulos, international relations expert. Welcome, Dr. Marcos. A new supreme leader of Iran, Mojtaba Khamenei. In your opinion, Dr. Marcos, when USA declares, Trump declares that this new supreme leader, if not approved by Washington, won't stay long in his position. So how do you think, in your opinion, the reactions to this choice?
Well, what we have seen over the last week or so is America having seriously miscalculated Iranian military capabilities and Iranian resolve. And as a result, Iran has the upper hand in this war. As regards the new supreme leader of Iran, in many ways, this man is the perfect person for the job. Why? Because both of his parents were murdered by the American and Israeli war, airstrikes, and also his wife and child were murdered by the American and Israeli airstrikes. So consequently, the new supreme leader has nothing to lose. And in addition to that, the Iranian people are not like Americans or Britons. They are absolutely devoted to God, to their country, and to their people. And irrespective of what Donald Trump says, the Iranian people are prepared and willing to fight to the death. Millions upon millions of Iranians, in the event of an American ground invasion of Iran, would head to the front line, as they did during the Iraq-Iran war. So we shouldn't pay too much attention to what Donald Trump says. After all, he has not identified a clear objective for America having gone to war with Iran. And secondly, he has no strategy for achieving whatever his objective is. In short, I am of the firm opinion that America has gone to war on behalf of Israel.
He doesn't have a strategy, sir. However, Washington says, Dr. Marcos, that they have successfully destroyed most of the Iranian capabilities, military capabilities, especially on the naval and missile levels. To what extent do you think this announcement or this declaration is realistic? And Iran, knowing that they have experienced such losses, how can they keep on fighting and are capable of launching this volume of missiles?
Well, the very fact that Iran is still fighting, and more than just fighting, is inflicting very serious damage on Israel and has devastated American military bases in the Arab Gulf, demonstrates that Trump's claim to have virtually neutralized Iran's military capabilities is yet another lie. Iran's military strength lies with its ground forces, its army, and its missile force, in particular, its ballistic missiles. And that is why we see that Iran has the upper hand. No war can be won simply through an air campaign. If the objective of Trump is to topple the Iranian government, then America has to commence with a land invasion. And a land invasion would take months upon months of preparation, and it would require perhaps 500,000 American soldiers. There is no way that the American people will support a ground invasion of Iran. So, as we speak now, the Iranians, whilst they have they have incurred very serious damage. At the same time, the Iranians are still striking very hard Israel and are striking very hard American military bases. The Iranians have thousands upon thousands of missiles and even more drones. So Iran can keep on fighting. Iran also controls the Strait of Hormuz. And there's very little that the American Navy can do other than attempt to take control of the Strait of Hormuz. But then the Iranians have been preparing for such a scenario for decades now. So clearly, if the Americans attempt to capture the Strait of Hormuz, then the Iranians, yes.
If you may, you've said that if the US, if they want to finish the war or to create a decisive moment, they need to resort to ground attack. That's a point. Knowing that the US government, the US administration was betting on the people going to the streets and toppling the government, and knowing that this didn't happen and the Iranians didn't resort to the street, and knowing that a ground attack is a far-fetched idea, so how do you foresee, Dr. Marcos, the coming days in this war?
Trump can declare a victory and bring the war to an end. Because if America stops attacking Iran, then Israel will stop attacking Iran. After all, in a military context, without America, Israel amounts to nothing apart from its nuclear weapons. However, it does seem that Trump is going to persist with the air campaign against Iran, and that is not going to achieve whatever his objective is. As I said, the Iranians can keep on fighting indefinitely. They have a vast amount of missiles. So clearly, the Americans and the Israelis are in very serious trouble. But this war must be seen in the context of the Epstein files. That is why Trump has gone to war with Iran. Also, America and Israel, economically speaking, cannot afford this war for a long period of time. Why? Because energy prices are starting to go up. They could even skyrocket, which also would mean that America would run dangerously low on oil and gas. So what then for America? What then? It is not inconceivable that in such a scenario where America is short of oil and gas, that America could have to go cap in hand to Russia in order to be supplied with energy. Now, that might seem far-fetched, but then anything is possible now. This war is a serious miscalculation by America.
Thank you, Dr. Marcos, very much from London. It has been a pleasure having you here with us on this program. Thank you very much, sir. It has been a privilege.